In South Africa will pay more for electricity come the 1st of April. And no, it's not an April's Fool's joke. Eskom is expected to raise tariffs by double digits, we are told. The national regulator of South Africa approving the price hikes back in 2023. Let's unpack this story with Hasha Tlhotlhalemaje, who is the General Manager of Regulations at Eskom. And she joins us live this Thursday afternoon. Hasha, it's great to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed for coming on. So double digits, that tells us a lot about just how bad this increase is going to be for consumers. How much is it exactly?
It's 12.74% for Eskom customers, yes.
And that will be divided... No. This is the initial 32% that Eskom applied for, which is now being divided across 2023 and 24.
No. There seems to be some kinds of confusion. NERSA made a 2-year decision, and that is for financial year 24, which we're just coming to an end now, and financial year 25, which starts on the 1st of April. And Eskom had made an application of 32% just for financial year 2024. But when NERSA made its decision for 2024 financial year, it made an 18.65% increase. And then for financial year 2025, it made a 12.74% increase. So that's the one, an average that will be kicking in from the 1st of April for Eskom customers.
Yeah, it's a bitter pill to swallow, isn't it, Hasha, in a context where consumers are already struggling with load shedding. In fact, so many people complain about the fact that there is such excessive load shedding and the electricity bills are already high as it is.
Yes. No, I mean, look, it's very difficult to combine the two things. But another way of looking at it is also that part of the reason we are in trouble and not being able to maintain and prioritize our power stations, etc., is that there was a lack of funding that was made available for many years. And we are doing a bit of a catch-up, and we are still in a process where consumers are still being subsidized and are not paying the full cost of what it actually costs to produce and circulate that electricity. We do understand, and it is something that we do apologize for as far as the load shedding is concerned. But of course, that is a wider issue. It's a country issue. It is not only just an Eskom issue.
But insofar as maintenance is concerned, there is really a sense for consumers, from consumers, that we're in this position because of bad decisions that consumers are now having to pay for.
No, I think that would be looking at it very, very narrowly. That's why I said this is a complex issue, and I just heard in your comment earlier on with the ex-president saying that he now does not take sort of accountability for the load shedding. Remember that we are living in a very, very long-term kind of an industry. So things that might have happened more than 10 years ago, the impact is being felt now. And therefore, it's not a sudden turnaround as we have experienced that can happen. And one of those contributing factors was that Eskom was not given enough funding to be able to continue to maintain those power plants. But also another important aspect is that there were not sufficient capacity decisions that were made timelessly as far back as more than 10 years ago that we are now feeling the impact of. So that's why we say that it is a very complex argument and it can't be just narrowed down, and expect a quick turnaround.
Yeah. NERSA, for its part, has also said that, it doesn't take this kind of decision lightly. It's well aware of the impact that it does have on consumers as well.
Yes.
I just wonder, given the pressure that consumers are already under, obviously it goes without saying, the people who will bear the brunt of this, even though there is that free basic service, are those who are living below the poverty line in our country. And you know that when the middle class as well are affected by decisions like this, where they now have to choose between what kind of food they put on the table and whether they pay their electricity bills. Long-term, Hasha, how are we going to look at this issue of tariff hikes and what consumers are paying for electricity in South Africa?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, and as NASA has also acknowledged, we're still on this migratory path. If we compare ourselves with similar kind of customer groups in other countries, South Africa's electricity is still cheap. And also, so we are still going to a stage where we are trying to reach the level, what we call the cost reflective level, that actually covers the efficient cost of producing that electricity. So in essence, although there have been sharp increases, it is still a migratory part, and it will take us a few more years to actually reach that stage. So that is unfortunate bad news.
Yeah, it certainly is. Hasha Tlhotlhalemaje, let me thank you for your time, the General Manager of Regulations at Eskom. And as I said, it isn't an April Fool's joke. There's going to be a steep double-digit increase